We have Meghna Malkan of malkansview.com joining us to talk about the markets and the way forward going ahead. A very good afternoon to you, Meghna. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And let's talk about the markets. Pretty quiet, isn't it? We've been consolidating for a while now. We've seen these sharper moves towards the day end otherwise. But what's your view? What are you making of this view, making of the moves coming in the markets? Do you think we will see this prolonged phase of consolidation after hitting new highs?
Hey, very good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me over. Yes, we've been consolidating, but we're consolidating with a weakness at base. So example, if you talk about Nifty, I see very strong resistance coming at 20 to 200, and there are divergences on momentum indicators that makes Nifty on the weaker side. But where I see more weakness is in Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty is way weaker than Nifty, and I believe it has the potential to go all the way down to 45,700. So this is how I read both the indices.
All right, so you believe that the moves coming in for the Nifty Bank would be a tad bit weaker when you compare it to the benchmark indices. But what do
Yes.
you make of the broader markets then? Because they have been enjoying the party, they've been enjoying the ride, they have been actually outperforming the benchmark indices on most of the occasions. What's the trend that you're making out of the moves when it comes to the broader markets in particular?
So in particular, I believe there are these two sectors that I would go by. One is the reality sector, the other is the pharma sector. So there is some kind of movement, some kind of trade that are being set in these two sectors. For example, these when it comes to pharma, Zydus Life Science is something I'll be looking at. I'll also be looking at Sun Pharma. So these are the two stocks I'll be looking at. Also, there is Lupin. I think Lupin is a good trade, short to medium term trade. If I enter right now, I can do that with a stop of say around 775, which has the potential to go all the way up to 840.
Right, so that is on the pharma pack. You also highlighted realty sector, and wouldn't you look at PSU sector? Or do you think that everybody is giving it a break after the spectacular rally that the PSU or the PSE sector has seen?
Yes, I would myself be taking it a break because considering the volume that's building up on the technical chart patterns and the way the momentum indicators are behaving, I think it calls for a break as of now. I'll be focusing on these two sectors rather.
All right. So, what would be your top pick? You've definitely focused about Zydus Life, Sun Pharma, Lupin when it comes to the pharma pack. Apart from these counters, are there any other counters that you think that will shine out in the current consolidatory phase that the markets are witnessing with a tad bit of weakness or weak bias?
I think so. There's one more stock that I've been looking at, which is Vsoft. Vsoft looks really nice, though from the same sector, but the patterns are really emerging stronger. So Vstock is a good one, I believe, to focus by. That's one more thing I'll be looking at.
Right. What do you make actually of the IT sector? Today you have UBS that has come out with a note particularly only on TCS where they have upgraded the counter. They have hiked the targets. They are saying that maybe the things are looking better coming in for TCS given the fact that they have bagged some big orders, big deals or so. But when you talk about the IT sector as a whole, you can't paint them with the same color, right, with the same brush. What's your take coming in for the IT sector in a particular, and especially when you talk about the debate of large cap IT sector versus the mid cap IT sector?
Yes, you're right. It's a kind of mixed bag. Some of them are weak. Some of them are showing quite strong. I mean, quite an amount of strength on their technicals. If I see it from the higher time frame, I do not see a good chart pattern forming on any of them as of now. What I would do with this sector is really adopt a wait and watch approach. There are a few stocks that I'm tracking at a few levels. I think once they cross the resolution point, that would give me a more better confirmation to go long in there.
All right, wait and watch more when it comes to the IT sector, but Meghna is definitely watching the pharma and the realty pack more closely
Yeah.
and giving it a break when it comes to the PSU sector. Thank you so much, Meghna, for joining us
Thank
on
you.
ET Now and giving us a holistic picture about what your market take is at this point in time. And that was Meghna Malkan talking about the markets going ahead.